me because he's sitting.
Carry on, mate. Carry on.
And he seen something inside me, and I just put it in. And towards the end, we did another steeplechase, and I ran that in something like 7.5 minutes.
All right. Well,
that big difference shows how fit training does get you and how ready it gets you to go to battalion.
And that is, and people don't get it, but you know, that fitness when you start packing. And again, I was Royal Air Force, I was an armourer, predominantly aircraft weapons technician, Tornado, GO1 at Cottesmore. So I've never done the humping and dumping, the tabbing, the yomping, wherever. But when you guys are carrying, you know, full packs and you're going to LMG or GPMG on top of that, and freaking, you know, you've got to be a different level of fitness. It's not just doing a bit of phys, is it? It's mentally getting strong as well. So it doesn't matter what you pull out the bag. They want more because they want to know it's potentially a survival thing. And it really is something that, you know, a lot of people don't understand. They think it's just going for a run, whether it's, you know, in your Plimmys or it's in full kit. But it's more than that. It's a lot more than that. It's doing it when you're knackered. It's doing it when you're hungry. It's doing it when you haven't slept, but you've still got to be vigilant and they're throwing, you know, scenarios at you. So
and it's good as well because even the guys on civilian street, they don't want to grow up. Yeah. If they join the military, they go in a boy and they come out a man.
Yeah, it does change you.
And that's what it is. And that's who made me.
Brilliant. Well, let's fast track then. So you did your service. Give us a little bit about. You went down to London. You did ceremonials, yeah?
Yeah. I went down to London. That was my first posting in F Company. I was down there for about a year and a half. GB Fitness.
I've got to get your branding in.
So I went down there, and I loved doing the ceremonial stuff.
Right.
Because you can have a laugh with it as well.
Yeah.
Because one with me was we're at the Tower of London. Mm-hmm. Tower of London and like a couple of others where you stood on your post. The guys, all the civvies we are in London are coming to look at you and that, they don't know you can move. They just think you stood there.
Yeah.
Right? So people are coming up to me, taking photos and that. Group of school kids. I remember a group of school kids. That were the best one. They've all crowded around me to have a photo. And I thought, right, I'm going to have a laugh here. And I banged my feet in to go on a little patrol up and down. I banged my feet in, and the kids absolutely shite themselves.
Yeah, brilliant.
They went running off to the teachers and everything. It was absolutely brilliant. And another couple tried telling me jokes, trying to make me laugh. And I'm just looking at them. They're looking at me, and they know you can't speak. And they're telling me jokes, and I turned around and I went, "You're boring me.
Yeah.
Get out of the way, you're boring me." They went, "You can't speak." I went, "Well, I just did. Move." So you have some laughs as well. And while I was there, I got to meet all the royal family.
Yeah.
The Queen even brought me out some orange juice and some biscuits.
No way.
It were absolutely boiling up. And she brought me some orange juice and some biscuits, and they were like a little secret garden. She said, "Go and sit in there, have these." So I did. And then my boss was walking around the corner 10 minutes after, something like that. I've got my burst skating off, I'm eating these biscuits. He's come into this secret garden, he's absolutely gone mad. He's gone mad at me, effing and blinding at me. "Tell me who said you could do this, I'm going to have a word with him." I went, "Really?" He went, "Yeah, I'm going to go and have a word." I went, "All right, the Queen told me." He went, "Right, you carry on." Because you can't go and argue with her, you know what I mean? So,
well,
that were good, and we went up to Balmoral for 3.5 months.
Right.
As the Queen's Guards. She goes up to Balmoral 3 months of the year.
Yeah.
And there you get put into your little platoon. So we had a security platoon looking after our place. Then we had a pony platoon who looked after the Queen's ponies and that, going out shooting. And I was the larderman. So I had the fun of skinning and gutting the deers and that when they come back.
Oh, really? Well.
And another good thing, like I got to talk to the Queen every day because the Queen used to come to the larder house to see what they caught.
Right, well.
And yeah, it was just unreal. Like a lad from Preston who turned up on a Sunday in his tracksuit to join the military, he's now talking to the Queen. It was just unbelievable. And they had a Gillies ball,
right,
where all the Gillies around there, they go and do like some Scottish dancing and that. And so many guardsmen get selected to do it, but you have to go on like this dancing course to learn all these Scottish dancing.
Oh, I'd like to see you doing leaping over some cross swords, man.
Yeah, I thought I'm just going to give it a go for laugh. You know what I mean? Just to get out of some work as well.
Yeah.
So I went to give it a go, and then I got selected to do it.
Really?
Thought, oh no! So I've gone to Balmoral Castle. We're doing this Gillies ball. The Queen's turned up. Prince Philip's turned up. Some other like all the other royal families turned up, and one of the dances, to pick your partners, the men stand in a circle, the women stand on the outside, the men go clockwise, the women go anti-clockwise, and when the music stops, you turn round to see who you're dancing with.
Right.
Right?
It sounds like a Thursday night at the Naffy Bop to me.
Tell me about it. I've turned round, right? And I'm only dancing with a Queen.
Jesus Christ.
So I had the Queen in my arms for about 15 minutes.
Well,
that's something to tell the kids, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Bloody hell.
I loved it.
Ceremonials, I mean, you couldn't have got much higher accolade than that, could you, mate?
No.
So for those that don't... Go on, sorry.
That doesn't happen to everyone. You know what I mean?
That's what I said. That's really one-off stuff. But for those that don't know, because I think people still think, ceremonial guards and other regiments, because obviously they turn around if you don't know, for the royal houses. You are full-on, full-time, genuine combat-trained soldiers as well. Because I think people think, they see you on the horseback and you see, super shiny boots and, this, that, and the other, whether it's cavalry guards, whatever. So that's, the light side of it, and it's still serious duties. But then let's fast forward, you're off and you're off to Afghanistan. How did that come about and how did that go?
It was weird at first because we got given a job, and our first job was to work alongside the SAS, right, doing what they do. Mm-hmm. So we went down to train with all the SAS lot, doing their kind of training. Yeah. And I tell you what, they are nuts.
Different level stuff, innit?
Like, they must not have a brain.
Well, this might be a few. I've actually tagged you in the SAS, which I know you're on SAS collectors.
Guys, don't hurt me, right? Guys, don't hurt me. But you're absolutely nuts. What you do is just like phenomenal. Yeah. Right. It's just a different way of training. Mm-hmm. And I've got to be honest. I learned some stuff while I was training with them, and it were phenomenal. And then we'd done all that, and our job title changed. So we had to go and do our own training for what we were doing then. Yeah. And then it changed again. Right. But it's the same with everything. Everything always changes, no matter how, it's the military.
That's it. It's hurry up and wait. It's you.
Yeah, you don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah, you do what you're told because the roles change. And especially look, guys and girls now look at the amazing work they're doing. But who would have thought, you sign up to be a frontline infantry or whatever, and you're out and you're sticking swabs up somebody's nose, but you're doing an amazing service. It's a job that needs to get done. And, sometimes people don't really appreciate, respect, or understand the multiple helpful roles in natural disasters and all that frontline military do. It's not always about, you know, a big bang stick in your hand and, you know, combat. It's about helping.
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah, you could get given a job. You could be travelling up the road to go and do that job, and it could change just like that. But I was gutted because I was really looking forward to working with the SAS.
Right.
But we got our job, we did our training, and we got told we could go home for a long weekend, go and spend some time with your family because you're not going home afterwards because we're going to Afghan the week after. So I went home for a long weekend. I said my goodbyes. I went out with the lads and that on a couple of nights. Had a few too many sherbets before I went.
Right.
You've got to, because you're not going to have any more drink for
when you're going to get
7 months.
Back again, yeah.
And yeah, said me goodbyes, and off I went back to battalion on the Sunday. And we were doing our work, and our fly-out times changed.
Right.
And it was 2 weeks before we were going. So they said we could go on the weekend after.
Right.
I didn't want to, because I'd said my goodbyes. I didn't really want to go back and relive that, because it were upsetting, because
it's not
you've
easy.
seen your family and you don't know what's going to happen when you're out there. You don't know if you're going to come back or not. So I didn't want to relive like saying goodbye to my family again.
Right.
But all being all, the battalion invited the families down after the weekend to come and spend some time with you, and like you can show them around the camp and everything like that, show them what you've been doing. So they've come down, and they could stay until we were deploying out to Afghanistan, until we were getting on the coach, which my family did and all the other families did.
Mm-hmm.
And it got to the day where we were leaving, and that was the hardest time ever. That you're in your combat, you've got your body armour on and that, and you're getting on the coach. You're saying goodbye to your parents, and I had butterflies inside me and everything like, what's going to happen? Oh, you don't know what's going to happen. So yeah. I had loads of feelings going on inside me. My grandma were there, my mum and dad, and my grandma handed me this like plastic bag to go on the coach with. I've opened it up on the coach, and it was full to the brim with chocolate for our journey there. And I thought, yeah, that's all right. But I had to forget about that, like leaving my family, because I've got a job to do. I've got to think of that job. And we got to Bride's Note, and we were waiting for a good few hours, and waiting on an airport is just a nightmare. All the lads were outside smoking, doing like just trying to pass the time. And we got on there. We flew to Afghan, got to Camp Bastion, and we got there in the day, but we had to wait around Camp Bastion to fly to our VCPs, because they fly at night. Yeah. And just being in Camp Bastion, we're like, right, this is real. And that's where it started with me. There, it was real. But yeah, we flew out to our VCPs, got all checked in to our new accommodation.
Your hotels? Oh no, you weren't RAF. Sorry.
No, we don't have hotels and lobster and all that lot for our ration packs and that. We just have like slop. That's what we get.
Well, you should have listened at school.
But yeah, we got there, and it was, your mind thinks as well, what can we do to make it feel homely?
Yeah, this is brilliant. Tell us what you do.
That's the first thing you've got to do to make it feel homely. So we've got 2 ISO containers either side of each other. Right, we've got a big gap in the middle. So there are bed spaces. We're sleeping in these ISO containers and that. And in the middle, what we'd done was we'd put planks on the ISO container, put a roof on, and we flopped the sheet over the front. Mm-hmm. We drew some windows on it, We put a door in it. We put plant pots, like drawn plant pots on the windows. But you walk into that, we had our table, our left-hand side with all our cutlery and tomato sauces and brown sauces, everything like that. Water under the table when we needed it. We had a table in the middle with a settee, what we'd made out of sandbags. We had a chair at the front, a little armchair, and one of the lads is a pretty good drawer. So we've got the 10-man ration box, right? We took the bottom off it. He's drawn a TV on the box with all the knobs and everything, and he's drawn Family Guy on the screen, all sat on a settee and that. So when you sat down looking at it just looks like you're watching TV. It were absolutely brilliant, I tell you, amazing. And we made all our gym equipment out of sandbags. So we had our bench press. So our bench was sandbags. We had a scaffolding bar with sandbags on the side of it for our weights. We knocked a scaffolding bar into the wall to do your chin-ups and that. So we had our gym stuff.
Some good improvisation here for people at the moment. So you didn't get all the high-spec hammer strength flown in like the Yanks do then? You didn't have gyms?
No, not at all. We made our own. And that's the best way, I think, because it's improvise, adapt and overcome.
Brilliant.
That's something you always get told in the military. If there's something there, what you need, but it's not, improvise.
Yeah, make it
set it up yourself. So we did that. And we're also helping the A&A and the AMP, showing them how to clean weapons because they've never cleaned a weapon in their life.
You're talking about the local troops, the local guys.
Yeah. So the Afghan police and the Afghan army. Yeah. So we're teaching them how to clean the weapons, how to use a gym, just showing them all different bits. And they're even like, they're nuts as well because on our VCPs, you've got a little like vehicle checkpoint at the front, like a little cabin. So one of us, there'll be one British soldier and two of them, because it's them what have to stop everything. They're like the locals listen to them, and we just have to check afterwards. But I'm with them in this little cabin, and all they're doing is eating. They're eating cannabis.
Eating the cannabis
while they're eating it. They don't smoke it; they eat it.
Oh well!
And
I can't say I've ever tried a cookie or a muffin. That's just a rumor.
But I tell you, I was just looking at them thinking, "What are you doing? You're meant to be here, and you're meant to be like
alert,
waiting and checking, alert, yeah." And they were just looking at me, thinking, "What are you going on about?"
Through big red eyes.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh my, I can't even do this.
But it's a cultural thing, isn't it? I mean, that's what they do.
It is, and the fields are full of it there.
Yeah.
The fields are full of it because like when we've been out on patrol,
we can drive into the airport. Some of the people I know will be like, "Oh, where are you going on holiday?"
Tell you, it's nuts. It is nuts. What is there? But yeah, there's times to be serious and there's times to have a laugh while you're out there as well.
And you have to have that flip. I mean, talking about that, and we'll get into it because your story where we're going to go in a moment, obviously where it steps up and gets serious, but the military sense of humor, the black humor, I think shocks people who have not been exposed to it. It's something I speak about, and there's always the banter between the forces, and yet if somebody was to say something about a Pongo, which is army, or your Matlows, and your Marines, we're not even sure what that's the non-binary people that like to dress up in stockings and suspenders on a Friday. How you doing, Jeff? And if anybody's from that out of that circle said anything, the guys come together, and the girls obviously as well. So banter can be quite strong, but it's obviously between you people, guys and girls serving out in Afghanistan. It is a survival mechanism, isn't it? Black humor, and that's going to take us into what happens. So obviously, so you're all set up and you're doing your duties, but you know, the serious side is when you step outside and you're on a patrol and what can happen. So tell us about, obviously, the big incident that turned your life around, but also made who you are now, the amazing gentleman that you are.
Yeah, so we went out on a 53-man foot patrol on the 27th of May 2010. We'd gone to, it were a fighting patrol, so we'd gone looking for a fight, trying to get the Taliban out of this bit of what we're looking after.
You're looking to pull people out into a firefight, into contact. So obviously, you've got some,
yeah. So we were walking up this, like, well, it's with us, it's like a back alley. It was like a back alley in Afghan. We were walking up, and all these locals are looking over the wall, like just crouching over, looking, everything like that. Like, and I thought, something's going to happen here. Literally, all of them were out looking over the wall.
Right.
And I had the LMG with me. I was carrying, £100 on my back with the LMG as well. And I had a pistol on my leg. And we were walking up to the back alley. We got to the top. And a week before, a mastiff got blew up at the top of the back alley. And all what were there was the wheel. Something about the Taliban, they make IEDs out of anything. Out of anything. If they see the opportunity, they will do it. So it looked like they made an IED out of this wheel. So if you move that wheel, it'll just go bang, because there was nothing else there. And we didn't touch it. We carried on, and we had our interpreter with us. He was listening to what the Taliban were saying on their radios and that, and they were saying they've got us surrounded. We can't get anywhere, and like your ass is going 5p, 50p, because we've gone out on a fighting patrol, and we're getting told we're surrounded.
Your ass is going 5p, 50p. Just for the people, I'm just translating.
Right, and it's just like, I just have like bad thoughts in my mind.
Right.
Like something is going to happen.
I mean, it's a very real thing, intuition, gut feeling, whatever you want to call it. And especially when you're in that hypersensitive state, when you're attuned to that, you just feel, something in the air, certain warning signs and stuff. Sometimes it's too quiet, sometimes it's not kicking up, and it's like, hang on, where's everyone? Why aren't they moving about on a normal daily basis?
And that's exactly what it were. It was that quiet. They were just looking over the walls, watching us. And the Taliban were watching us. And we're just carrying on patrol. We've got to a stream, and we're getting in the stream. I was the third to last man out of 50 people.
Right.
And we've got in, and there were an IED just on. So you've got your water, and then you've got the banking. So we're on the edge of the water and the banking. I've passed the IED, but then my mate behind me slipped. And all you can do out there, so at the end of the day, when you're out there, you're not just mates, you're family.
Yeah.
You look after each other. So I've not fought, and I've just turned around and I've gone to go and help him. And I've turned around, I've stepped on the IED, and I heard the click, but it happened that fast. It was like being hit in the face, like my weapon hit me in the face. You could say it like 100 miles an hour. And it happened that fast. It was like being hit in the face with a football, where you just have that little blackout moment. It's thrown me about 15 foot in the air, and I've landed back first into the stream, so all the water's come over the top of me. And I'm conscious. I'm trying to get my head above water. I couldn't do it. I was struggling. I didn't know why I couldn't do it. My life flashed before my eyes. And I thought that was just a saying. I didn't think it actually happened. But I've seen it actually happen. And I didn't know what to think. I couldn't get my head above water, and like nothing was working. But the guys have come over to me, they grabbed hold of me, they've sat me on the side, and the first thing they said was, Dave, don't look down. And I'm like, what do you mean don't look down? They said, just don't look down. One of the guys did come up to me, grab him between my legs and said, don't worry, you've still got your balls. You've still got all that there.
Silver lining, though.
Right, you've still got all that. But I just had to look down just to see what happened. So I've looked down, and all what were there were my shin bones and my kneecaps. Nothing else was there. No calf muscle, no foot, no nothing. Just my shin bones and my kneecap. The medics in between my legs trying to putting the tourniquet on. I weren't in any pain. I weren't in no pain because of all the adrenaline going through your body.
I think that shocks people as well. I mean, you know, this nowadays some amazing films come out and you see whether it's from Soviet Pro, from Ryan to Kajaki or whatever, but you know, you see these guys, and when it happens that immediate, the adrenaline, which is fight or flight, will knock out the pain receptors.
Yeah, definitely.
And the initial, you know, kind of shit, what's happened. For some people, they find that quite shocking, I think.
Yeah, definitely, because before, like, even before that happened to me, if I'd get a paper cut, I'd scream. Because they hurt, you know what I mean? I've just had both my legs of that blown off. But the medics in between my legs, he's putting the tourniquets on, and the only pain I felt is how tight he had to put that tourniquet. That's what hurt. And yeah, I knew I haven't got my legs. And then while he's doing that, I felt like pins and needles in my arm. And I just lifted my arm up. I looked at my arm, and my arm was just dangling with its tendons. Like the tendons were all connected, it was just dangling. And the skin had separated from the bone. So I had like two bits dangling from one arm. And I've just looked at it and I've just given myself a high five. That's what I did, because I knew I'd lost it. It was like a see you later. So I just give myself a high five because I weren't in any pain. And what they had to do was they had to rest my arm on my chest, right, and the bit dangling just further down, because they didn't know whether they'd be able to save it or not. Like, they did not. But I'm led on this stretcher. I'm waiting to get picked up, and all I wanted was a cigarette. That's all I wanted. I'm led on stretcher, spitting teeth out, my jaws broke, everything like that. And all I wanted was a cigarette, because I didn't know whether it was going to be the last time I ever have anything.
And that's got to, I mean, for people to realise that, you know, you've just lost an arm and two legs. There's other injuries, some major stuff to your face. Yeah. And I must say, what a handsome man you are now. So
it's that LMG what's done it, mate.
Yeah, ugly sod before. They've done a good job.
Yeah, I look like Sloth off the Goonies before this.
And then you've got transport and stuff. So I know there was, you know, things went downhill a bit, didn't they?
Yeah. So they've got me on back of the mate to go to Camp Bastion, but my mates were carrying me on the back. But the angle is shaped like that. So they've got to walk you up, and they were walking me up, and my mate who's at the front slipped and dropped me. And I turned around to him and are you having a fucking laugh? I went, do you not think I've been injured enough? You just decide to fucking drop me. And he's like, oh, sorry, get me on the fucking flight. Right? So cause I wasn't in any pain, you know what I mean? I was just doing what I normally do and just having a laugh about everything. And they put me on, the medics have jumped on me straight away, sorting me out on the back of the mate, because on the back of them, it's like a hospital on the back of a plane. That's what it is. It's just unreal what it is. So they put me to sleep on the flight. I woke up in Bastion just as I was getting off. Mm-hmm. I did ask for another cigarette, but they put me back to sleep. I don't know whether it's because I were annoying them or they thought I were a tit. They just wanted to put me back to sleep. I don't know, but they put me back to sleep. They got me in there. They dealt right. It sounded like they dealt with me straight away, which yeah, they would. They dealt with me straight away, patched me up as fast as they could, and got me straight back on that flight and got me to Selly Oak.
Yeah, so Selly Oak, which is a hospital just up the road from me, obviously closed down now and became adjoined with QE, but amazing facility in its day, really was.
It was brilliant.
Medics, military medics, they find because of the emergency situation coming left, right, and centre, really lead science and medical know-how. I mean, some of the trauma, shock, and it's happened in every war, has brought medicine on in leaps and bounds because they have to, and they are phenomenal people. So give us a bit of a run through. So you've landed in Birmingham. Obviously you must have been. How did you feel at this time? Because by now, you've come around. The severity of the situation. I'm guessing you're feeling, although you'd be medicated, some pain, but the reality of the situation. How was that mentally as well as kind of obviously the physical damage?
Well, at first, when I first woke up and they put me onto the ward, because of all the drugs I were on, every time I looked out the window, it was like it were Afghan outside. That's all I could see. Because I've been in a war zone, and the next thing I'm in a hospital. And it was just like looking outside, and all I could see was like a lad on the Sanger on Stag. And I'm like pretending to look at my watch thinking, oh, he'll be waking me up in a minute. He'll be waking me up. And like he never did. And I'm like, well, what's going on? But this drugs play, they play with your mind. And we how much drugs are on with what's just happened. They were playing with my mind. And that took a few days to sink in that I was in hospital, I'd been injured. Even though I knew what had gone on, you still think about what's just happened. And it was just, first thing for me is, this has happened, what am I going to do now? Because I were a fit, able-bodied guy what loved my football and boxing, and I'm here now with no legs and only one arm. And it got to this, like, I was in hospital for 3 weeks. I did 3 weeks in hospital, then I was discharged, which is, it's not a competition or anything like that, but I am the fastest amputee to come in and out of hospital with an amputation.
Oh well,
so that's like another medal. But yeah, 3 weeks in hospital, went home. But all I did when I went home, because I'd not been there for like 3.5 months, 4 months, everyone were coming around to my house, coming to see me, seeing how we're getting on. But you don't think about it. But even people coming around to see you tires you out.
Yeah.
It tires you out, and sometimes like people had to get turned away because I were absolutely shattered. I couldn't see anyone. But yeah, I was there 3.5 weeks. But when I was well enough, first thing I wanted to do was go to the pub for a drink.
Fair.
That's all I wanted to do. I'd not had a beer for like 4 months, so I wanted a beer. So I did. Went to go and have a beer and spent some time with my mates and that, having a drink. And I didn't think when you've had a drink and you're staggering home on a night out, going side to side, I felt all right because I didn't think I'd be able to do that in a wheelchair.
Right.
But because I'm in an electric wheelchair, my arm was going side to side, so my wheelchair was going side to side. So it worked. It was weird. Good job I didn't get pulled over by police for drink driving.
Drunken charge.
I know. And then from there, I went to Headley Court to start my rehab. Learn to walk again.
How did Headley go? Because, you know, people have great experiences here. I know people that have helped out PTIs and stuff down there, but, you know, there's a lot of people together that have been through a lot of trauma, both emotionally and physically. How did you find Headley?
When I first turned up, because you don't hear on the news of people being injured, I didn't think there'd be that many people there. But I turned up and I'd seen all these different injuries, and lads what are younger than me, it was like, oh my God, there were loads of people.
Yeah.
But Headley Court for me, amazing.
Right.
Because if it weren't for them and the RAF lot, I know I'm like, I diss the RAF sometimes. We have a laugh about them, but they are. If it weren't for them and Headley and my guys on the field, I wouldn't be here now. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But one thing for me, what did my nutting at Headley Court was first thing in a morning, right? You've just been blown up. All these guys there have just been blown up, lost a leg and lost 3 limbs, everything like that. But first thing in the morning, they get you on a pissing circuit.
Brilliant.
What's all that about? You've just been blown up. You know, last thing you think about is, I'm going to do a circuit.
But it's keeping the mind busy, isn't it? It's keeping that discipline. It's keeping the mindset. But I can understand you're like, fuck, I got no legs, and you want me to do what?
Yeah, that's what that's what I would like. Oh, come on, Dave, you're on the circuit now. Do one. Do one. And I did the same with one at colour sergeants. What were one of the liaison officers?
Right.
Because I had a beard when I turned up to Headley. They went, Watson, shave. I went, not going to happen. I went, I ain't going nowhere near my throat with a blade. I said, I used to be right-handed. I said, I'm left-handed now. I'll end up cutting my throat. I said, I ain't going near it. He went, all right, not a problem. He's gone away. Come back to me in the morning with an electric shaver.
Right.
I'm like,
always away.
Oh no, I thought you cock. You know what I mean? But Headley for me, amazing facility. They get you back up on your rubber feet.
Right. Because you're still serving, still in, aren't you? There's still that.
Yeah, you're still serving. You're still serving until you get discharged from the military. I was at Headley from 2010 till 2013.
All right.
Something like that.
Right.
But it got to 2013. I'd done everything I needed to do. I got up on my legs. I got fit. And while I was there, actually, because I did go through some dark stages at home where I did turn to the drink because I didn't really know where my life was going.
Understandable, isn't it? I mean,
I turned to the drink, but one weekend we got invited to, like, it's Limb Power. It's like a charity up in at Stoke Mandeville. It's like for civilian amputees, just to go and have a weekend of sports and have a laugh and meet up with other amputees, talk about stuff. We got invited to that, full of sports. I went to go and find something else to do because I'd lost football and boxing. So I thought, right, I'm going to go and see what else I can do. And I went out, tried loads of sports, went out onto the discus fields, tried discus and shot put. And the coach turned around to me and said, you've got a gift. Have you done this before? I went, only at school, and I did it with my right hand. She went, well, you've got a gift. You're strong. You can do this. Keep going. So I thought, is she just doing that because what's happened to me in a military or what? I don't know. But a few weeks later, I got onto a trip with Battleback. Went over to Oklahoma to go and do like the similar thing, or it were like wounded and sick servicemen.
Right.
And I got on my throwing frame, threw my discus, and I broke the American record for my category.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, they robbed it off me because I wasn't classified. They wouldn't give it me.
Right.
There's no Americans on here, is there?
You never know. You never know.
But the Americans said, no, we can't give it you, you're not classified.
Right.
But I knew I'd done it. The lads who were there knew I'd done it, everything like that. So I come away and I went, right, that's it. I've found what I want to do. So I packed in the drink, just on my own, just went, right, one day I went, right, and stopped. And I've not had a drink now for 5.5 years.
Oh, really? Well.
So that's what I carry on doing. And that's what I did. I got myself a coach.
Right.
And yeah.
I'm aware of the time because I knew this had happened with the two of us yakking. So, but we've got some big, kind of fast track then. So this was your introduction, predominantly discus. And then, boom, we've got the Invictus Games, which, I mean, which everybody must have heard of, but every veteran respects. And we've got Prince Harry and a great team there. So tell us about your introduction and your Invictus Games, please.
Yeah. So I went, when the Invictus Games first started, I went for the trials. I went for everything. I didn't get selected for the first 3. But after the third one, after I didn't get selected, I turned around to my wife and I went, I ain't doing this anymore. I can't do it.
Because of the rejection. Well, not the rejection, but the not getting in the team feeling.
Yeah. And it's putting in all that hard work, all that training to not get anything at the end of it. And I just turned around, so I said, no, I'm not doing it. I was in tears in the living room. I went, no, I can't do it anymore. My wife went behind my back and...
I think this is brilliant. Go on.
She sent an email. When the Invictus come back round again, she applied for me on my email. Mm-hmm. It's come back. Yeah, you can come to the trials, blah, blah, blah. So I did all the trials, did all my training. I did go mad at first. What did you do? Why did you go behind my back? I told you not to do it. But I thought, right, I'll give it another go. So I did all the training. And it got to the day where they selected the team. It got to the day where they were sending the emails out, whether you've been selected or not been selected.
Yeah.
Right? So we're in the car. I'm driving. My wife's in the passenger seat. And you've heard, I've only got one arm. Right? I'm driving. My wife's checking my emails to see whether I've been selected or not. So she's on my emails checking. She went, oh, David's come through. I went, really? She went, yeah. I said, what does it say? She's opened it and she's gone, you've been selected. I went, yes! Right? And that minute I forgot I was driving. And I'm like waving my arms around, right? And cars going like that. And I'm shit. I'm in middle lane on a motorway. And I could have caused a massive accident. I thought, right, stop. We'll do all the celebrating when I get home. Do you know what I mean? I could have lost my last arm. Unbelievable. So yeah, I got selected. Went out to Toronto to do the Invictus Games, and with this one, I only picked discus and shot puts. That's what I did. Yeah. And all I wanted from that is to bring something back to show my hard work, what I've done. So the first day with a shot put, and I picked up a bronze medal. And I got on the podium, they put the medal around my neck, and I just cried like a 2-year-old baby. Right? So I got that thing I wanted to bring home to show that all my hard work. And my discus come the next day, and I got gold. So I'm on the podium again. They put the gold medal around my neck. but that didn't really bother me. The
Strange.
gold
That
medal,
was yeah, we spoke about this before. So why was
yeah.
that? Explain that difference in feeling, elation, achievement, whatever.
The difference in that feeling was like I wanted something to bring back, and that bronze medal. That was my first medal, and that's where I'm bringing that home to show how much hard work I've done. But the gold, like, don't get me wrong, it's fantastic getting a gold medal, but getting that first one, that you're bringing that home to show your family and friends, it's that what meant the most. So we're bringing something back. So then my sports were over, and I went going supporting everyone else, and I thought, I can do that, and I can do that, and I can do that. So the Invictus Games is finished. We've all come back. We've done our celebration, and then they've all come out again for the next Invictus Games. So I've applied again, but this time in a different role. Yeah. To athlete, but to help the newbies coming through as well. So it's more pressure off the staff. Yeah. For someone that's been there and done it before, they can get that from us as well.
Of course, yeah. You got not only have you served, but you know what it feels like. You know, wherever is the issue with the limbs missing or whatever it might be. But the pressure as well. You know, a coach might technically know how to coach and stuff, but going into, I've worked with, as you know, elite athletes in pretty much every sport but track and field, and I know some that absolutely rise to the occasion. I mean, I've got Commonwealth and Olympic athletes. Yeah, some absolutely step in that stadium, and it brings them up to a level that surpasses anything they've ever done in training. Others phenomenal, and on a county or even national level, phenomenal. Once they go to the big stadiums, absolutely crumble. So for you to get that engagement and connection with them would mean a lot. I mean, that's a real mentor role. Been there, done it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. And I even talked to Dean Macy as well. I'm friends with Dean Macy, and it were him what helped me out on the Toronto games, because I phoned him and I asked him, how do you like, what's the difference? Yeah. And he said, Dave, this sounds stupid, but when you're in training, throw like you're in a competition. Mm-hmm. And when you're in a competition, throw like you're in training. And it always happens. You always throw further in training than you would do in a competition, because you've got all that crowd. Yeah. It's that what helped me. But yeah, I got selected for the Invictus Games Sydney as well. Yeah, great. So I went out to Sydney, but I picked an extra sport as well. I picked the indoor rowing. Mm-hmm. I don't know why I picked it, because it's absolutely horrible.
I remember watching that live and think, that's got to be something. I mean, rowing on the concept to rower is taxing, doing it with one freaking arm.
Mate, I understand now why they have them buckets at the side of the rowers. Yeah. It is like horrible. Because I put that much into that row. Like when I was out in Sydney, I put that much in to my 1 minute row that I had to stay sat on the rower for an extra 10 minutes because I couldn't stand up. Right. I were on the verge of blacking out. Yeah. But I did the indoor rowing and I did distance shot put. My goals for that games was to medal in rowing, even though I've not been doing it that long. To medal in rowing, and my distance shot put to up a medal in my shot put, to show that I've got better, and to remain Invictus champion for discus. So the indoor rowing, I got 2 silvers, which I was over the moon with. Yeah. I'd only been rowing 6 months, and I got 2 silvers, so I'm happy with that. My discus come, I remained the Invictus champion. I got another gold, and it was shot put. This is the one I was like, this is my goal. I wanted to up that medal, and I did. And I became Invictus champion for shot put as well. So I reached my goals. I did what I went out there to do.
Over 2, just to clarify then, over 2 games with quite select, because some of the boys and girls do a multitude of sports, but you knew you were a thrower and then went into the rower. on the second game. So what's your current haul of medals?
Medals now, I got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Invictus medals.
Not bad, yeah.
I don't know why I did this. I don't know why, but I entered the British Rowing Indoor Championships in London.
Yeah.
I come away with 2 golds from that.
Awesome.
And my last competition of the season, I did discus, shot put, and javelin.
Right.
I come away with a silver at javelin and 2 golds for discus and shot put.
You must have a pretty big cabinet for your silverware, pal, or silver, bronze, and goldware.
Yeah. They're in my gym outside.
Right. Awesome.
I've got my own gym set up in my garden.
Right. So, any more competing in any level, or is it now working? Obviously, we're going to get onto your current business and kind of professional motivation talking. But are you doing mentoring, coaching, and stuff, or any plans to compete in the future, or is that you've done that, close that chapter?
No, I'm still gonna compete.
Really?
I'm still gonna compete. I'm gonna go to as high as I can.
Right.
And I'm not gonna stop until I've got what I wanted.
Right.
Do you have I'm still gonna compete.
Do you have that's the peak of my mountain? Do you have something in mind, or with it? You don't have to.
Yeah. Well, I've got either a Paralympic or a Commonwealth Games. I just want to represent my country again.
Awesome. That's something.
So it's either one, because the Commonwealth is just the same as a Paralympic side.
Yeah, big game.
So either one of them or both, from whichever.
Right.
So that's why I got a gym in my back garden.
Yeah. I know that because we spoke about it, but because I think a lot of people would have been very happy with what you've achieved, but it just shows people want to keep striving forward. It's not about okay, I've got gold medals and everyone's patting you on the back, and that's going to give you a leapfrog. That's going to put you on stage with what you're doing, but people want more. Some people aren't satisfied and are constantly striving through their life, and why not? Why not? Famous people like Sally Gunner won Olympic golds and everything, but she wanted that world record, and she kept on till she got it. This people achieved amazing things. It's why right or wrong boxers make comebacks and stuff. They're just like, I've got one or whatever it might be. So
it's like for me now, it's not about the medals. Now, if I get a Commonwealth or a Paralympics under my belt, I can turn and say, I've done a Paralympics.
Yeah.
It would be nice to have a Paralympic medal or a Commonwealth medal to add to my Invictus medals, but just wearing that Union Jack on your chest again, that's what it's all about.
Well, on that, mate, I've got a couple of things, because it's only right we see who the man is. So this is the gentleman we're talking about, and I think this is a fantastic photo, mate. So look at that for a guardsman.
That was my wedding day.
Was it? I didn't know that. I've just been scrolling through and I found that picture. I thought that was fantastic.
That one.
You are.
That was my wedding day in 2015. I got my regiment tailor to tailor that sleeve. So
yeah, that's fantastic.
It went dangling.
That is amazing. But we're talking about.
I've still got that.
Military humour. This photo, because when I put up last week about we were going to be doing this, obviously I've put them, one of you, which is off your DW Motivation, which we're going to go and to give a plug, and I'll put all the links up. Obviously, what we want to do is give you a platform that people can reach you, and it's very important. Please contact Dave direct. You've heard his story, but let's see what he can do for you, how he can help you, because for a man to come from this adversity and to help and inspire and motivate others, is phenomenal. But this picture sums it up for me, mate. And this isn't just you. Obviously, this is you. But this is the strength of character that not everybody has, but a military sense of humor as well. And I just love this, mate. And I'm not into the, you know, the kind of, I'm in AB rugby and stuff, which unfortunately got, you know, called off. But you see this, I remember seeing a picture of a couple of guys that had lost their legs, they got the prosthetics and they're dressed up as pirates. And it's just hilarious. But this, that's brilliant. I love that picture.
Which one's that one? That's...
Does it come up? Can you see it with a shot?
Oh yeah, it's the one. Yeah, we took that one. I took the kids to like a farm type thing.
Right.
Me and the wife went with some friends.
Right.
And I seen that shark, and I just had to put my arm into it like it bit it off.
That is a brilliant picture. But this is the character of who you are, mate. You know, and this is, you know, I love talking to you because the stories, it's not doom and gloom for you, is it?
No, is it? And I've done another photo like that, but I think the wife's got it on her phone. We went to went to a zoo somewhere where they have all dinosaurs and that.
Right.
And when you're walking in, there's a dinosaur skull on the floor with its mouth open. Right. So I've sat on the floor and I've put my legs inside.
It's not West Midlands. Is it West Midlands Safari Park?
That might have been.
Yeah, there's one there because we go there. Well, we did. But yeah, it sounds like the dinosaur land they've got there with the animated.
Yeah. So dinosaur land, they've got that skeleton skull on the floor with its mouth open.
Yeah.
I sat on the floor and put my legs inside it, and I led on the floor.
Freak the kids there.
I think my wife's got the photo on her phone.
That's brilliant. Imagine the poor little kids coming forward and back going, oh my God, I'm not going in.
Oh, that's me. I just do stuff like that.
Brilliant. Well, I want to make sure that people know we've got your background, we've got the amazing, you know, kind of stories, a phenomenally positive mental mindset, which I'm guessing that's what led you on to what you do now. So you introduced it a bit at the start, but tell us what you do, what you can do for others, you know, what stages you like to work on, which is going to be altered a little bit at the moment. Obviously, we're maybe doing more stuff via web camera than a physical stage with an auditorium. Yeah. We're going to put all the links up and stuff. You've got your website, so give us a rundown of all that, mate. I mean, what can people get from to help them in their life?
So now, doing what I've done and overcoming what I've overcome is when I first got in, people were asking me to come to schools and do a talk and just talk what they've been through. But then I was getting more people asking me. And then I thought to myself, right, well, I can do something with this. I can turn it into a business and become a motivational, inspirational speaker. So that's what I do. And for this one, it's...
Oh, we've just lost your camera, Dave, for some reason.
Oh, is it back on?
There you are. I think it was better off.
I don't know what happened then.
Just went black, you know. It's come back. We're having all sorts of IT, aren't we, today at the start of this? But yeah. I'm really hoping this has come out. I'm frigging now because it's phenomenal talking to you, but I want the boys and girls to hear it. So go on.
And now, especially with schools, colleges and universities and that, universities, yeah, they've got all that sports stuff on there anyway, but schools and colleges, they just think life's just a doss about now. They think everything's just handed to them on a plate, where it's not. Nope. There is things out there you can do, and I just go to schools and the businesses and acting and speaking and try and motivate people to do things they wouldn't think they'd be able to do.
Right.
Because when they look at me, they can, well, I can do that. If he can do that, I can do that. Because in my life, since being injured, I've done abseils, skydives, skiing, you name it, I've done it. And like businesses, just say like London, for instance, you got all these people walking around with briefcases in suits and that. That's their bubble. That's all they know.
Yeah.
They'll wear a suit, they'll go to work, they'll go home, they'll take it off, they'll go to sleep and do it again. they don't know anything outside of that suit. So once I've done a talk to them, I've had people ring me and say, Dave, you've inspired me. I'm doing this now.
Brilliant.
And that, it's not doing the talk, it's the aftermath what gets me. It's people what ring me up and say, you've inspired me, or sending me messages. That's what tugs at the heartstrings.
Yeah, because sometimes it's just planting a seed. It's the same as when people study with me. As you know, I teach PT and nutrition, and they do all the first aid, mental health. But I've had people that have gone on to be instructors, to be tutors in courses. In fact, one guy, I don't know what's happened. We don't seem to have had a lot of comments come on, so I don't know if he's some blip there. But a guy called George Ferrios, he saw me speak. I was a lecturer at Functional Sports Nutrition Academy. Then he worked with me as a natural bodybuilder, and then he was a student of mine. But now he teaches others. He works for a training provider, and to see that is fantastic. So when you plant that seed from him just sitting in there, he said it just resonated. Some of the interviews I've been doing with others in this kind of series while we're on this lockdown, you know, I've said, you know, there's one young lad, he's still stuck out in Thailand, bless him, Adam. But he was at that same, it was a 3-day lecture, kind of advanced academy. But he was a young lad of 18. He's gone on to do, you know, his 4-year honours degree, nutrition and dietetics. What you spark for people is phenomenal, and it's massive goals. I mean, if you look at what you've overcome, it wasn't like, I want to be able to walk again. It wasn't I wanted to have a normal life and get a job, which for a lot of people, that's a major struggle. But to say, no, I'm going to go and I'm going to win medals at the Invictus, and then I'm going to better them and get a gold, and then I want to be a Paralympian. You know, there's a guy, David Heine, phenomenal speaker, world-renowned, one of the top, along with Dave Thomas, who's another phenomenal guy. I'm privileged to know some of these people, but I knew Dave years ago because he was interviewing people, including an ex-girlfriend of mine who went on to win a silver medal in the Commonwealth Games in Melbourne, high jumper. And his big thing is, don't set these, what they call smart goals, small, manageable, etc. Set them freaking massive. Set huge goals, fire yourself towards them. And he's a big fella, you know, heavily set, not athletic, he wouldn't mind me saying. So he's got this catchphrase, and his image is Rhino. And he's like, go Rhino. And he goes to the school, spoke to over 1 million children. And I see some of the comeback of what he does. And it makes me think of you, mate, because, you know, what he tells people to do is exactly what you have done. Not small, you know, little goals going, yeah, that will do. You know, you've hit huge obstacles, achieved amazing things, and go, no, what's next? What can I do more? And for you to keep achieving while you stood on a stage, be it virtual or real, I've said to you, I'll give you as much backup as I can. I mean, you've sat on this sofa where I'm sat now, because my admiration for you, having met you at a remembrance thing at Birmingham Uni, was like, wow, this guy's upbeat, he's positive, he's doing good things. So I honestly wish you absolutely all the best, mate. I mean, I think you're a proper good lad, as well as an awesome athlete, and obviously you've served. So all respect for that. You are a true hero, but you could create more heroes, and you know that, and that's why you're doing it. I think that's lovely that you're doing that, and you deserve to have a business return on that. You've given for your country, mate. You have. So I want you, and I've got all your details. I want you and the people watching this, you know, to help each other, because this man really can, you know, put you in places over and above what, you know, many of us think we can achieve, you know. But you've got to have the dedication, you've got to have the motivation to get moving. And you know, when I give my talk, same as Dave, our job is to get that rock rolling. You guys and girls are the ones that are going to carry that to a journey and achieve hopefully more than us. And to say that, to achieve more than Dave Watson is going to be to achieve some awesome freaking things, because look what he's done. But you're not finished, are you, Dave? Far from us.
No, like in my head, I'm still, well, I am. I'm 33.
Okay, it's no age, is it?
That's nothing. But do you know what I mean? Like, especially with like the Paralympics, with the sports I do, I can throw up until I'm 50 odd years old, because I'm a seated thrower. Yeah. So I still got years to come.
Yeah. The guy is a friend of mine. I'm going to hook you guys up. I don't know, you may know him anyway, but he was competing and he's got 3 world titles, I think, in Masters. Kevin Brown, phenomenal discus thrower.
Name rings a bell.
Yeah, lovely guy. But I'll hook you two up as well, just for connections. But he was a very good thrower in his day. But he moved into doing strongman events and stuff.
Yeah.
I saw him, me and Oscar actually saw him and didn't even know he was doing it. I haven't seen him for years. He's been in touch because he wants to do some of my courses. But he pulled a big Range Rover up a track on a kind of summer sports day just last year in Sutton Coven. He smashed it by, I mean, it was like, he did it in less than half a time. I mean, he was almost like he was sprinting with this thing. And he says, look, my background is I've done sport and athletics, but he got into it because, I mean, it's somebody I might do an interview with, so I don't want to give too much away, but he didn't feel he fitted in at school and stuff. And he just did sports to belong. He was kind of alienated. So, you know, the adversity that leads people to excel, I think, is an amazing story. So, but some people sadly get caught up in that swamp of, I don't call it self-pity because it sounds negative, but, you know, the negativity of the situation. And some people go through some horrendous things, but this is why somebody like yourself, mate, I tell you, the first time, you know, we can sit down and, you know, I can watch you and then we can share a beer. I'd love to do that, mate.
Yeah, definitely. And that's like one thing with me was my life could have gone an opposite way. I could have carried on drinking, sitting on my ass all the time.
Yeah.
But I forced myself. I didn't want that because if I have kids later on in life, which I've got now,
you're the role model.
I don't want my kids to go to school going, oh, well, my dad just drinks and sits on settee. I want my kids to go to school. Oh, my dad's a gold, silver, and bronze medalist. Is this, and this, and that's what I wanted, and that's what I got into my head. And that's
well, you definitely achieved that, mate. So obviously things seem to be relaxing a little bit. I'm not sure how great an idea that is. I mean, I've got, you know, a little boy that's 3.5, one that's 8, mixed feelings about the school's going back. But at some point, you know, people are going to have to take responsibilities. I think some people are putting too much on, tell us that we're on lockdown. You know, we're grown-ups, look what you've achieved. We have to take responsibility for ourselves. So without going into the whole politics of, you know, what's going on and stuff, any messages just to wrap up for the boys and girls that are out there? Because a lot of people are going to feel a lot of angst about and frustration, maybe even anger, but certainly worry about what's going on. And bear in mind, you know, you've come around in a hospital bed, you know, going freaking, where's my arm, where's my legs? Not knowing Afghanistan or Selyoak, which some would say they're not that far from each other. If you're a mile up the road and you're in Northfield, it's almost like
it's almost the same.
So the locals will appreciate that one. So what message have you got to wrap up for
me?
Watching in? Yeah.
Well, my message is just look after yourself, keep safe, just think about what you are going to do before you do it, and just set yourself little goals while isolation is still going ahead. Set yourself stuff to do in your gardens or in the house, like little circuits and everything, and just carry on, just stay safe.
This is it. I mean, this too shall pass. And if I met a guy yesterday, I went to the post office yesterday to post some probiotic vitamins, basically, you know, gut health stuff, to a friend of mine. 3 hours it took me to get away from the post office. I came out and the next guy, because we were doing controlled entry, coming in was an ex-client of mine from years ago, lovely guy. If you're listening, Ben, frigging 3 hours. But, you know, just stood at good safe distance. You know, he said, it's so good talking to you because you always lift your spirit. And when you're around good people, when you're around people that can give you a few little tips, which is what, you know, you do, you give massive ones as well, but, you know, the little things. But it's just staying a little bit positive. And I really, really, really stress that for those like you, Dave, like me, that have children, because they need to feel safe, respected, happy. They don't need to know about exactly what's going on in the details. They don't need to see the news articles. I don't put the news on. I don't watch it myself. I don't read papers. You know, our children need to be not wrapped in cotton wool. Oscar knows the situation. Across the road, if people are coming, he never goes into a shop or a, you know, post office, wherever. He lives with his mum half the week, me half the week, and we both, you know, are looking after his health. And folks, you have to take responsibility, because look at the responsibility Dave took for himself. He could have easily drained in the bottom of a bottle 1,000,000 times. and he's shooting for the frigging Paralympics, for God's sake, you know? So, Dave, you personally, you know, inspire me, mate. I think you're a top lad, and I really, really thank you for doing this. So respect for your
No problem, mate.
Respect for your service and everything else that you're doing. And like I said, anything I can do to help, I'll get all the details, put up in your contacts, and enjoy the rest of your evening. Cheers, mate.
Did we get any questions?
No, they didn't. That's what I said. They didn't seem to be popping up. Well, you did get one or two. One was from the guy that I said, George Ferrios said, "Wow, what did you get to talk to the Queen about?" His actual question was, "Freaking wow, what did you talk about with the Queen?" So that's the
scones. Scones.
Is it clotted cream and jam, or is it jam and clotted cream?
Yeah, that's.
Let's kick off the whole Devon and
Right. But the Queen is proper down to earth. A lot of people look at her and think she's really posh, but she is proper down to earth. She'll have a proper good conversation with you.
That's brilliant. And there's a lady, phenomenal lady, Pauline Weaver, has just done the supervising for first aid mental health with myself, works with a local church, and she made a comment just when we were talking about training and stuff. If you've got it in you, they'll bring it out. She does loads of work with the local air cadets or F cadets. Phenomenal lady. My son Oscar loves it a bit because we've got a Lego club, but I've learned a lot about what she does in the community. And you know, there are good people out there, and Pauline, you are definitely one of them. So she's just saying the military will bring out what is in you, you know, the depths of your strength, both mentally and physically. And it's not for everybody. I never did anything like the service you did, never saw action. Thankfully, I mean, I was supposed to go out to Gulf War One and did all the jabs and made the will and all that. The respect I have, I mean, my granddad was ex-Kingston Scottish Borderers. Then he was a Royal Marine for 5 years, and in D-Day, he was Royal Engineers. He was a sapper, went aboard, the vehicles and rolled out onto Sword Beach. So, I've got a lot of friends. Hopefully, some of the guys and girls will be tuning in, and they'll know a lot more about your story and what you went through than I did. A sense of character that the military, without doubt, I think you'll agree, has helped you get through and become the man you are.
Yeah.
So respect to everybody that's ever signed on the dotted line, whatever your cap badge, whatever your uniform. Thank you all. Really respect, and thank you especially to Dave Watson. What a man. And I'll put all the links up. Please contact him. I know he's a very friendly guy. You can see that, and this is why I wanted to do this video link. I wanted to come across who he is. He's a genuine bloke. So thanks, mate.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, take care. Fingers crossed this one will work, eh?
Fingers crossed.
Take care, my man. Have a good one.
See you later.
See you later.